Well, howdy there, guys. Welcome back to Stewie MTG, and today looking at Doran the Siege Tower, Treefolk Tribal. White, black, and a green for an 05 legendary creature Treefolk Shaman. Each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So in other words, these trees have big butts. Also, as kind of a backup to this game plan, we have our only Planeswalker and Halti. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Predominantly, I'm not going to use its -3 ability, but mainly as a backup to my commander. And speaking of commanders, the first iteration of this, before I was able to pick up that Doran, it was Kolfanor the Last U, and that video is going to be in my channel still. Kolfanor 3/7. If Doran's on the field, it's actually 7/7. Very rarely my Treefolk die. Every once in a while I get that trigger to put out a free Treefolk. But let's take a look at our Treefolk that this deck consists of. We got ourselves a Willowgeist, Treefolk Harbinger to help get some of those Treefolk in my hand, Boss Banneret to reduce those spells. We've got Kubris, Tilling Treefolk, Treefolk Seedlings, Dungrove Elder, Villanara, one of the only couple of non-Treefolk in here, mainly that is Ramp, and a lot of my Treefolk are 6 or more. Rasad, once again, a backup to my commander. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Got ourselves Ebony Treefolk, Heartwood Storyteller, Ancient Lumberknot. Creekwood Liege, once again, is not a Treefolk, but if you look at it, kind of looks like a Treefolk, but mainly for the buff. Gnarled Professor, Lumberknot, Dauntless Dobark, Canker Abomination, Leaf-Crowned Elder, Tree of Perdition. That could be a win condition here. You can exchange somebody, let's say they start off at 40 life, tap Tree of Perdition to bring them down to 13, and attack in with a couple of your big Treefolk, and it's game over. Wickerburrow Elder as removal, Seed Guide Ash. Once again, another non-Treefolk. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So you can gain quite a bit of life. If our commander and Ikra Shadiki is in play, Ikra is going to gain you 7 life. Rootless Yew. Going all the way back to the dark with Wormwood Treefolk, Weatherseed Treefolk, Timber Protector, Maganoth Treefolk, Everbark Shaman, Witherbloom Pledge Mage, Sapling of Kolfanor. I know a lot of folks build Treefolk Tribal off of Sapling rather than Doran, especially for, it seemed like the longest time Doran was really, really expensive, and only recently has come down in price because of Commander Legends. Colonian Twingrove, Uvenwald Observer, Ezelroot Channeler, Toonvale Treefolk, Thorntooth Witch, Orchard Warden. Velderoth the Ancient, for me, is a slot in here. Yes, it's a Treefolk, but it makes sapling tokens. It's in my sapling deck anyways. So, if you guys have a suggestion to replace Velderoth with something, let me know below. Deadwood Treefolk, Grey Oak Guardian, Ghoul Tree, and lastly, Woodfall Primus. We have ourselves some enchantments to help us out. We've got a couple of totem armors to help protect and to buff Doran. Here we've got Treefolk Umbra, gives +0/+2 and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. And the same thing here with Elend Umbra, another totem armor, but it gives +0/+4. Autumnal Gloom, our goal is to actually flip it. So making sure we have 4 more different card types in our graveyard. Dormant Grove, we wanted to flip it as well to get the creature. Mainly it's to put +1/+1 counters, and we get a creature at the end of it. Assault Formation is another backup to our combat plan. And Sight of the Scale Lords, mainly giving that vigilance until end of turn. Just a few instant sorceries to help us out. We've got Golgari Charm, Putrefy, Crack Open, Reclaiming Vines, Cankerous Thirst, Bramble Crush, Death Sprout. Love that art, by the way. Root Grapple, Shamanic Revelation, Back for More, Casualties of War, and Zendikar Resurgent. With that, jumping into our many non-basic lands, our 3-color variety in Command Tower, Murmuring Bosque, and Sandstep Citadel. Our Golgari versions in Woodland Cemetery, Twilight Mire, Witherbloom Campus, Golgari Guildgate, Jungle Hollow, Foul Orchard, Woodland Chasm, Darkmost Bridge, Temple of Malady, Llanowar Waste. We have our 1 Selesnya inclusion with Temple of Plenty. Green options with Mosswort Bridge, Oranreef the Vastwood, and Tranquil Thicket. Black, we've got Bajuka Bog and Barrenmoor, and a little bit of ramp in Blighted Woodland, Myriad Landscape, and of course, Evolving Wilds. Well, this has been Doran the Seed Shower Treefolk Tribal. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned this week as I hit up the remainder of our 3-color combinations. It had a little bit of a scare today. For some reason, I thought I didn't have a Grixis deck, and I looked and looked and looked, and it was hiding on me. So, crisis averted, and we will see you all later.